About 2 years ago, this guy who's here today, Christian, I had a class with him, and he mentioned on the first day in class that he was a boxer. So me and him exchanged numbers. I told him I always wanted to box, blah, blah, blah. Never happened. 1.5 years later, he texts me and he says, "You will not believe this, but I just got a new roommate, and he's a boxing coach from California."
He was moving from California out here to Bowling Green to start something new. Small town America was kind of his big vision. And
I wanted to experiment with a project on bringing boxing organically to a place where there was no boxing and bring it up. Bowling Green, small town America, worked out perfect. Boxing is a hugely great arena to learn life skills. But unfortunately, we don't have boxing everywhere. So what I'm doing is I'm filming all the WKU classes, and that way I can put up online, and kids all over the world can take their brother, cousin, sister, their dad, maybe even like youth pastors in a church basement, community centers can grab a hold of this program, the system, and teach boxing. That's what the project was supposed to be. But the way it's morphed is into this thing that I could have never planned for. I've never really worked with kids a whole lot, and now I've got a handful of kids, a handful of adults, and a handful of college kids. We've got Jacques.
Well, it's been almost a year now. Just came in here, wanted to prove what I had first. Boxing a lot of the guys, just learning every day.
And we got Carrie, who started off as somebody who just wanted to come in for fitness, something different to get in shape and be healthy.
But once I got here, I kind of took a liking to it. I know it kind of sounds odd getting punched in the face, but very therapeutic.
We've got Evan, who he's been here probably the longest out of anyone that's on the team still. And he's super enthusiastic. He loves it. He loves boxing. He fought the Sigma Chi fights, and he dislocated his shoulder in the second round. He came back to the corner, I'm like, "You all right? You good? Okay, good. So here's what I want you to do." Gave him water, gave him instruction, sent him back out there. Tough kid. Because he comes back at the end of the third round, they're about to make the decision. He whispers at me like, "Coach, I think my shoulder's dislocated." I look, it's like hanging 2 inches off his shoulder. And then when we were done, and the doctor put it back into place, and it's sore, and that didn't bother him at all. But when I mentioned to him, like, "You realize you're not going to nationals now," that's when he was emotional about it. Because he loves it so much. He's been, going for the nationals, what he's been training for. The end goal was to have one season with WKU, college boxing team, and go to the nationals. And see what we could do as a first-year team, go to the nationals. What I did was I found a club show the same weekend the nationals was supposed to be. So we still have the same kind of timeline. And on this club show, we're gonna have, I think, like 10 athletes. So we got a handful of college kids who aren't gonna go to the nationals, but still get to compete on this weekend that they've been training for. We have a handful of adults who have been training, who get to compete, and we have a handful of kids who also get to compete.
So the club shows are really just helping us like get our technique down, get our confidence down, fighting in front of a crowd. Just get everything down for like amateur boxing. So by the time we go to a national tournament, the nerves will be out the way. There's gonna be crowds and everything there. You're gonna feel a little bit of nerves, but we might have 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 amateur fights before we go to that club show. So we fought already, so we'll feel more at home, and it won't be as brand new to us.
So my job as a coach is to make those 10 novice fights as quality as possible. I want to get failures, wins, losses, huge celebrations, huge failures, huge disappointments, all out there, and learn as much as we can. And that's kind of what Sigma Chi fights was. It was a good opportunity for them to get in, get their feet wet, and just get all their anxious energy out. And go! With the balance of the gym, the competitive side, and the fitness side, I think it's all gonna work. Actually, I don't think it's gonna work. I know it's gonna work. 2016 was about me recruiting athletes. I barely did anything for the fitness side of it. I did the bare minimum of what I needed to do for the fitness side of it to pay the bills and keep the lights on. so I could develop real athletes. I got kids who come in and just do sparring class. They don't do conditioning class, they just do sparring class because they like the fight, they like to spar. But if they want to get really good and compete and be good at competition, then they get to come into the conditioning classes. If they want to do really, really well, then they get to make sure that their muscles and the joints in their body are all healthy and do the outside stuff also. It's interesting to see how it develops. And it's interesting also that they all leave with smiles. They all leave going, oh my God, I sweat. And it really, the fitness classes have nothing to do with me. People acknowledge me all the time. Oh, it's a great class. I'm like, all I did was say, go and stop. Like if you are sweating and you got to work out, it's because you put it in. I just tell you what to do, and you're the one that did the work. And it's the truth, because I also have people who go like, it wasn't that hard. I'm like, well, you should work out harder next time, when you come in. Yeah.
I joined boxing just to like better myself. You know, I saw who I am right now, and I saw the man I wanted to be. And boxing was able to, like stairs, it was able to get me to where I wanted to be.
It makes me feel powerful. You know, I'm doing something that isn't expected, and I love that I get to shock people. And yeah, and it's something that I love, which I never would have thought would have happened.